Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you guys how you can access the Pirate Bay safely. Now, there are a few things that you want to keep in mind when accessing the Pirate Bay or any kind of peer-to-peer activity, whether you're torrenting or sharing files with anybody. So in the context of torrenting itself, since we're talking about the Pirate Bay, anytime you download a torrent, anyone else that's also downloading the same torrent will be able to see your location, your IP address, and your port. So this is considered personal information because if it gets out to the wrong person, they might be able to harass you, get some personal information about you, and it's just not a good time, especially when you're torrenting files that you don't know the owner of. And as far as legality, obviously you want to check with your own local laws and make sure that you remain within the bounds of the law, because I do not condone downloading any copyrighted materials. So please ensure that you don't download any copyrighted material and that your online actions align with your local laws. But again, as I said, torrenting itself as a technology, it means sharing and downloading files via a peer-to-peer network. It's not illegal, it's just a method of distributing data. In fact, it's a very efficient way to share large files, and it's used legally by many organizations. For example, open source software projects, which often distribute their software via torrents. Now, again, there's still that risk of your personal information being leaked out, which is why you need to use a VPN. Now, when you use a VPN, it routes your connection through a server in a different location, a selected location rather, and it'll make it look like you're coming from there. So if I were to connect to the American server with ExpressVPN, you'll notice that my location and IP address will also reflect that. So if I were to connect to a different server, let's say the London server, it will also reflect that. If I were to check on any IP finder, you'll notice that I have a UK IP address and my internet thinks I'm in the UK now. So this is exactly when I'll be safe to access the Pirate Bay. No matter which version of the Pirate Bay you're looking for, there are a bunch of versions out there. I recommend that you always have your VPN on. And another thing to keep in mind when browsing the Pirate Bay is that you make sure that the torrents you're picking are always high-rated torrents. So if you see something with no seeds or something that nobody's downloaded before, you probably want to avoid that so that none of the malware gets through to your computer. But what you can do, obviously, is use a good VPN if you're trying to engage in any kind of torrenting. So you need a VPN with a good no-logs policy, meaning they're not going to share your information with your ISP or government, so you can be sure that your online activities are well hidden. Now, most VPNs claim a no-logs policy, but I picked 3 that are actually safe and they stick by their no-logs policy, so you can trust ExpressNord and Surfshark with your information. But the reason I also picked these VPNs is because they have these features that help you when downloading torrents. So for example, advanced protection will make sure that it will block trackers, malicious sites, and ads. So if one of the torrents perhaps has a malware or anything like that, I can turn on my VPN, and if the VPN detects anything that's, a little fishy, it will just block that page. And it's the same thing with NordVPN. If you take a look here, threat protection works kind of like a mini antivirus. So it'll protect you from malware infected websites and whatnot, but it will also protect you from downloads. So if you happen to download something that has malware in it, it will detect it and protect you from it. Now, if you're looking for a full antivirus, you can actually get that with Surfshark. If you go for the Surfshark 1 or 1 Plus package, you'll be able to grab a fully fledged antivirus with Surfshark, not to mention that you'll also get all kinds of other security features that will help you out when you're downloading. But if you're just looking for a VPN and you don't really want an antivirus, maybe you already have an antivirus, you can just go with ExpressVPN. If you're looking for the best of the best, you've got 105 locations with ExpressVPN, and you'll be able to secure up to 8 devices per subscription. And overall, I would say this is my go-to choice, simply because it's super easy to use and it has a lot of locations, and well, I like that. Now, NordVPN is more of a well-rounded option that offers a whole bunch of bonus features for a very reasonable price, I would say. And you also have features that really help you out when you're torrenting, like the peer-to-peer specialty servers and the threat protection, which again acts like a malware and ad blocker, as well as a mini antivirus with file protection here. Now, with Nord, you do have 61 countries at your disposal, and you'll be able to secure up to 6 devices per subscription, unlike ExpressVPN's 8. Now, with Surfshark, you can actually share it around with as many friends and family members as you would like, because you'll virtually be able to secure an unlimited number of devices with just a single subscription. So that's really cool. And Surfshark just ends up being the best budget VPN that gets the job done at the cheapest possible cost, without sacrificing any of the necessary features that you'll need when you're torrenting. So for example, one of these features is the kill switch, and the kill switch will automatically disconnect your internet connection when the VPN disconnects unexpectedly. So imagine you're downloading a torrent and you lose your connection with your VPN. At that point, you will be reconnected to your ISP's network. Now, when you turn on the kill switch, which is again available in all 3 VPNs, Express, Nord, and Surfshark, it will actually disconnect you from the internet when you get disconnected from the VPN unexpectedly, or by accident, let's say. So this will make sure that you're only going to be connected to the internet while you're secured by the VPN, which will prevent any accidental IP leaks or anything that you might be doing online that you would like your ISP or government or anyone else to not know about. The kill switch is a great safety measure. Again, you can keep this one on, and when the VPN is disconnected unexpectedly, not just when you turn off the VPN, it will also cut off your internet connection. It's a pretty useful feature, and this is definitely something that will come in handy when you're torrenting. Usually when the VPN disconnects automatically, it's probably because of an issue or some maintenance. But once it goes back online, your internet connection will come back and your downloads will resume and you'll be safe to go. So that is basically it for this video. If you guys are interested in any of these VPNs, you'll find links to pricing and discounts in the description down below. Now, out of curiosity, I did speak with ExpressVPN, and they mentioned that a lot of people end up spending more money on monthly renewals than they would have going with the yearly plan. Because the typical pattern is that people renew monthly, thinking they may not need a VPN long term. So unfortunately, they end up spending more money on the monthly plan with a higher monthly rate than they would have going with the yearly plan, which significantly lowers the rate, especially with the discount code I've provided, which will give you 3 extra months for free. So ultimately, if you know you're not going to need Express or any of the other VPNs for longer than a month, definitely get the month plan. But if there's a chance you might end up using it longer than a month, then you might want to go with a longer term plan. And then if you change your mind or realize you won't need it that long, you can always get a refund and go back to just a month at a time plan. Besides that, if you're also interested in learning a little bit more about these VPNs, you'll find the full reviews down below, and it's all covered again by a 30-day money-back guarantee in case you just want to get yourself a refund. Besides that, comment below if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer all of them. Like and subscribe if you'd like to support the channel and stay up to date with everything VPNs and cybersecurity. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day.